folks, I got a little quick little vid I wanted to do. Got to get me a lighter for my Black and Mild here. Ow, I got a cut on my thumb that hurts so goddamn bad. That's just what I thought. I broke that sucker when I got in the truck. Alright, screw the Black and Mild. Yeah, hell. We'll just do her bareback. What I want to do here, make a quick video. Working on a deer hide right now, as you can see. This little mini flesher works pretty good. Grandma used to hate seeing me do that. She spent $3,000 on my braces. Anyway, I wanted to show you this little mini flesher I got. I got this several years ago. I do have a Dakota 5 and Dakota 4 flesher from Van Dyke's. There they are. There's the little Dakota 4 and the Dakota 5. Those are tabletop fleshers. $1,300 sitting right there in 2 pieces of machinery. Belt driven off an electric motor. Run a big one's got like a 9-inch blade, and the other one's got like a 5-inch blade. Bought them used last year from a guy for $600. They was in real bad shape. I cleaned them all up with a wire wheel. Put a coat of Rust-Oleum hammered paint on them. Got new pulleys because of the salts that you use to pickle these hides and stuff and salt the hides. It really corroded the pulleys, so I put new pulleys on them, greased them all up, got them all ready to go, except the guards. The guards on them were really bad. I couldn't get the little set screws, are all rusted from all the salt. There's the brass guards for the little one, but you can buy upgrade kits, the new guards. But between the 2 blades that I got to buy and the 2 guard kits, you're looking at like $200, which ain't bad because I'll have $800 in $1,300 worth of equipment. So I basically got both machines for the price of one by the time I'm done. But anyway, what I've been using is this little mini flesher. This is actually the mini flesher that I bought. The original guard broke, so I just took an air cut-off tool. And I found out if you use the top piece and the bottom, there's a top piece and bottom piece that go over the top and the bottom of the blade, and then that guard, the Flesh-All mini flesher guard, I had to drill my 3 holes to hold my guard in. But this is just a Campbell Hausfield. The original mini flesher was like $200 and some, but all it was a $30 cut-off tool with a different guard. But I found out if you do the way I did, you can use any standard cutoff tool as long as you have the guard and the 2 pieces on top and bottom of the blade. And that blade is just it's actually a little Malco saw blade. I dropped one the other day and it dropped the tool and it broke. So I just got a new one today. Got it off eBay, but it's just a little miniature saw blade is all it is. But I want to show you how this thing works. It'll get loud. I got the air compressor. It will kick on once I start, but it does make a hell of a mess. I got to put up a splatter guard. I got it all over my, well, try to show you here. Got all over my pants here, all over my shirt, little pieces of meat. But anyway, when this air compressor kicks on, I'm going to do a few seconds of flesh, and then I'll go shut it off. Just wanted to show you guys how this works. This used to have to be done by hand with fleshing knives over a beam, you know, back-breaking work. Now these air tools and power tools make it so much easier. Here you go. This hide has already been fleshed and salted to draw out the bacterial moisture, and now I'm just basically thinning the hide to make it easier to mount. Shows more of the detail from the forms, the muscles, and whatnot. The thinner you get the hide, the better better your finished mount will look. But let's get this going. I've already done all this up in here. Got a little hole there from the shotgun shell, but we're down in this area now, down toward the brisket of the cape. Got a couple holes from skinning it. Any hole can be repaired. It just takes time. The least holes you have, the less time you got to spend in it, the more money you make in your actual business. But see, that little tool works pretty well. Make sure it's still recording. I hit pause a lot. It basically just a little saw blade. It eats the, you set that guard on top. It's got oblong holes. We can slide it forward and backwards to go deeper or shallower. But it works pretty good. You can see right here where I thinned it, and then down here where there's still like a reddish looking meat. Works pretty good. This pickle solution that it's in is just basically citric acid and salt water. It takes kills bacteria that causes hair slippage, your hair from falling out. We're getting this one ready to mount this week for a guy. It's actually one of last year's projects. I got behind. He's getting pretty anxious, but pretty nice deer. Got one broken tine we got to fix on it. But that little mini flesher, it works pretty good. But you got to be careful, man. That thing up around the face area, if it catches, it'll tear a heck of a hole. I got a pretty good hole in the lower jaw of that one. But I mean, they can all be sewn and repaired, but this one's a pretty good sized hole, about 1.5 inches long. Just takes longer to sew up. You got to sew it back together. The more you're sewing, the less time you're spending on actual mounts. This guy's supposed to be coming to get his on the 4th or the 5th, supposedly. Been waiting 3 months. But, yeah, it's not too bad. After you get done doing this, you got to go in and throw your clothes in the washer. Soaks you up pretty good with it just slings little pieces. It's basically high-speed tearing. You're not slicing, it's high-speed tearing. With those fleshy machines, they got the blade's got just a real fine little cupped edge on it, and you run them one direction over, and just very, very, very sharp blade, and it slices thin little layers off, and you just run it over it till you get to the blue, they call it. It's where you start seeing the hair roots through the skin, through the hide. But it makes them stretch. You can get thicker necks and whatnot, if you thin them out. That guy there had a monster neck on it, as you can see. Full swell. That guy hit that with a pickup truck, as a matter of fact. Took out his grills, lights. I mean, they ended up getting a different vehicle. I mean, the whole front end of the truck was down to the grill. I mean, it smashed everything. Big deer. It's probably, I bet that was close to 300 pounds on the hoof. All right, folks. Catfish Redneck, gotta get back to his work here.